All right, so we're going to record live on the Tascam Model 24. First thing you're going to want to do is have a card that works with the Tascam. So I'm going to post a link in the description that shows the tested cards that they found work with the machine, and just check your card and make sure you've got a good one. The first thing you're going to do is load the card into the machine. You can do this while it's on, they say, but I just turn it off and put it in. But you definitely don't want to take it out while the machine's on. So just put it in there and close the door. And when you turn the machine on with a card that's brand new, you're going to find that there's no file systems on it. Obviously, it's going to have to format it. So just on the jog wheel there, multi-jog wheel, hit enter, and it'll start to format it. It doesn't take long. It only takes a couple seconds. Okay, so the card's now formatted. Now, if you hit menu and you go to your main menu, you'll see you have no song loaded. There's no song at all. Hit it again. First option, song. Hit enter and hit new. And you can adjust your bit rate. That's the first thing highlighted. You can go up to 4424. I'm just going to go ahead and go to 4416 for now. And then hit name. And just go ahead and name it so you can keep track of what you're doing. And if you notice on the bottom there, you can see the letters scrolling by. If you try to look at the box, it's a little more confusing. So it's easier to see where you're going if you look at that little box. And just arrow forward and name it. And I'm very creatively naming it Song 1. Okay, hit OK. And it likes that. And then hit OK again. And then it locks in the bit rate and the name of the song. So there it is. So we exit out of here and we go to the home screen. And there you are. And you've got Song 1. All right, so if you notice, I've got it set at 4416. And on the remaining timer, I've got about 24 hours. That's with no tracks armed. So as you arm tracks, you're going to have less time on the card because they're calculating you're going to take up space. I hit up to 3 tracks before it changed the timer, and it went down to about 20 hours. And the more tracks that you arm, obviously, the less time you're going to have left on the card. And that's also going to translate into depth and rate. So if you're going to have 4424, then you're going to have even less time on the card. Now I only hit 1 track, and it went down to 22 hours about, and then escalated after that. But just to show you, you're going to lose time on the remaining timer, how much you can put on the card, depending on the rate and the depth, okay, and how many tracks you arm. Something else to think about is when I'm recording live, I use more than 1 card anyways. So there's going to be plenty on 32 gig cards. And, if one gets damaged, corrupted, or whatever, at least you got something left from your gig. It does happen. Rarely, but anyways, just a pointer. Okay, so another thing about that whole thing about, your rate and your depth is, are you going to bring it into a DAW, or are you going to hand it off to somebody else? You're going to want to check with them or with your own machine, or what your desires are as far as what you want that to be. So just keep that in mind in advance, okay? So let's record. And this is the really simple part, because it's just like any normal board that you'd use. You plug in everything that you want to plug in whatever way you want to do it. You set your gain. You hit your low cuts on stuff that you know you don't want low on. But make sure you switch to live, okay, on the selector. And then, of course, you arm your tracks like you would on any digital recorder. And then send to main or subs. But in this case, we're going to go to just all to the mains. Turn the main up on the main mix bus. And you're ready to go. Check your levels. See if everything's right. Ooh, one's a little hot there. All right, I would turn that one down. But anyways, and then very simply, press the record button. And you're recording. And there's your meters pumping there. We'll get into more about the internal meters later. But anyways, once you've recorded your song, simply press the stop button. You'll be in the play mode. Hit it again, and then you go to play mode at 0. So just double click and it goes to 0, and then you're ready to play. All right, so playback, pretty simple. Make sure you change everything to MTR, multi-track recording. If you're in live, you'll hear nothing. So change those modes on every channel. Then simply go over and press play, and you'll hear your tracks. So that's it. You've just recorded. All right, so now what prints to the SD card? this is a question you probably are asking or should be asking. Okay, first of all, your gain, your low cut, and your compression all print to the card. So they're on there permanently. So if you're going to bring it into a DAW or do anything with it later, those are permanent. So just keep that in mind when you're doing it. And then, of course, things that are not going to go on are important too, because you're going to use these live most likely, and that's your EQ, your effects, and your panning. They don't print to the card. So you can use those wildly while you're playing live, and then don't worry, they're not going to be on there later. You can adjust those later on. So if you've got any questions about any of this, please leave it in the comments. I'll put it in the next videos. But other than that, that's it for recording. Just really simple. All right. See you guys.